this is one of my favorite little shrug over pieces. In the journal post, I've given you some details about some of the construction things. I did start with a river tunic, but you can start with anything. And this was like a shawl that I got at a secondhand consignment store, and I just loved the pull thread linen. So just a couple of things on this one. Pay attention to whatever you're choosing has a flavor of its own, and how you construct and how you finish things can be totally appropriate to that fabric. I can tailor, I can make a bound buttonhole, I can put in a lining, I can do all those things. This requires something else. The flavor of this requires that I stay with, I loved it. I wanted to stay with the feeling of this, which is more casual, kind of ethnic, some pulled thread work. So when I cut the side, which you'll see in the journal post, it had like 60 pounds of fringe down the side. Okay, not 60 pounds, but a lot of fringe down the side. I am so not a big fringe girl. However, I do like some of it. So you can see I left a little bit of the fringe here, but I saved that extra stuff I cut off because I knew, I just might need to use that for something. So I took off all the extra fringe, and then notice here on the armhole, I've literally cut it off and I haven't gone back and done anything else. There is a finish, there's like a little piece of fabric in there, like a binding, but I left some of the raw edge sticking out. Totally appropriate for this garment, this level of finish. Maybe not for something else, but great here. The other thing I did, which I seem to do a lot, is notice how just tying this sleeve up a little bit with a piece of the stuff I saved, good job saving it, just kind of lifts it a little bit. Just didn't need quite so much hanging down. I've repeated that, the little detail at the neck, so sweet. Just put a really simple piece of binding on this, but look at how the undershirt really informs the way that you wear this. So when I'm wearing this, what I'll do is I'll pull this up, this piece underneath, and look at how cool that is. Just a little bit of soft edge of that green underneath popping up. So those little tiny sort of upside down tassels that I've wrapped with a beautiful little linen colored thread, it's like the perfect little bit. Everything needs something different, and I love figuring out what does it need to be finished. This needs something very different and not very much. Sometimes the things that don't need a lot are more challenging because you go through a lot of different ideas, and maybe the first ones you come up with are things that you have done a lot of before, but it doesn't maybe require that. So give it some time, think about what you really want to do to finish. I love the problem solving of sewing and designing and figuring these kinds of things out and coming up with what I feel is a successful piece for the material plus my personal style.